If you remember, I want you closing 80% of the people that you talk to on an appointment. If you're talking to them via phone, 70% if you're talking to them via messenger, text, or some other way. Okay. Those are our numbers. So that's important because if you're only closing 20, 30, 40% of them, you're going to burn through a lot more raw material to get the sets you need. Right. Okay. And so that effectiveness is really about a skill set. So let me just say this first. All of you currently know how to set appointments. You're doing some level of it. I do not want you to abandon what you are doing. Okay. I want you to listen to what I'm going to teach you today and a little bit of next week. And I want you to learn how to apply that to what you're doing. Do you see the difference? The difference is I'm going to keep what I'm doing, but I'm going to look at some of these concepts. I'm going to see, can I apply some of this concept to what I'm already doing to make it better and more effective? Okay. If you feel like, dude, my scripts are a dumpster fire and they just don't work very well, you're welcome to take mine. No problem. Take it and steal it, rip it off, use it verbatim word for word. It works well. But I just want you to understand you do not need to stop what you're doing and do what I'm telling you. You need to listen to the concept of what I'm telling you. Okay. So here's where we are. An appointment setting script generally is going to have 5 pieces. Okay. The first is the intro and small talk. This should be 15 seconds or less. If you're talking more than that, you're alarming people. You don't talk that way in real life. You don't call people you know and shoot the crap with them for 6 minutes and make awkward conversation. They know something's up when you ask or converse in that way. 15 seconds maximum, number one. Okay. So we have the intro, small talk. Part 2 is the linker. This is very important. Hey, the reason why I'm calling. Hey, this message might be a little weird, but right here is the transition from the small talk to why I called you or reached out to you. Hey, Richard, how's the family? Things are good. Awesome. Things are good in business right now. Fantastic. Hey, listen, the reason I'm calling. So that was the intro and the linker. Okay. Then we have the body of the script. What you're going to find about how we wordsmithed our scripts is we wanted them to be direct but nonchalant. Okay, calm, assertive. We wanted to tell them exactly what we needed from them, but we wanted to word it in such a way that it didn't feel like a commitment. People don't like commitment, right? We wanted them to feel like, oh, it's easy, but we needed to give them enough information that they knew what they were doing, right? If you don't set the appointment appropriately on the front end, you're going to be digging out of it on the presentation. Okay. Some of you that recruit people, right? A favorite there is getting your new guy to call and say, hey, I just need some help with some training. And these poor people agree to it. And then you go there and you're trying to ask them to do business with you. And almost every time you're going to hear, well, I just thought I was helping Jen with some training. I wasn't planning on doing business with you. I just said okay to. And so, yeah, it was a little easier to get the appointment, but you didn't give them enough information and they felt a little baited and switched, and that don't work. Financial services is a high trust business. If you at any point behave in a way contrary to anything that you've said before, you will lose that deal. You have to be consistent there, which is why it's important that you have the right scripting. So we'll go through that body here in just a second. Okay. And then you have the close, right? So, hey, as far as us getting together, what's better, this day or this day, this time or this time? We're going to ask a yes question. We're not going to ask them, what do you think? Are you open to this? We're none of that. And then we're going to post close. This is very important because if we're going to do the work to set the appointments today, we need to keep the appointments. We need to run them, right? And so after we get a time, date, and location set, then we're going to post close them. We're going to solidify that close. Those are the 5 pieces of any appointment setting process, whether you're doing this online, via text message, or you're calling people. It's always going to follow that pattern. Okay. So I want you to look at what you're doing now and see, does it deviate from that pattern? Are you missing a piece of this? Are you spending too long on the front end, which is likely, and not being assertive enough on the back end and post closing it. So here was my script. I'm going to give it to you start to finish. I want you to time it and see how long it takes. Before you do that, I want you to understand that once I started, I didn't stop. I was a freight train rolling. There is no stopping for questions, conversation, getting people's feedback. I'm not stopping till you tell me what's better today or tomorrow. Okay? So if y'all are ready, I'm going to get started. So I'm going to call Jen. I'm going to say, hey, Jen, this is Ian from church. How are you? Things are good. Family's okay. Fantastic. Hey, listen, the reason for my call, I don't know if I had mentioned this to you or not the last time we talked, but I actually have some financial licensing. And listen, I just want to set a time to pop on a quick Zoom with you guys, sort of just share with you what I do. And listen, if you or somebody you guys know in the future could use what I do, I just love for you to feel comfortable enough with me that you'd feel okay referring me. So listen, as far as us getting together, what's better for you? I could see you guys like maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. What's easier? How long does that take?
I forgot to time.
Anybody time that? Probably a minute or
30,
less.
37, 37. Yeah.
Yeah, 36, 37 seconds.
Easy, 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 right? Okay, so fast and simple. Now, notice the wordsmithing of this, because when we get into the objections that you're going to get, what I have already done with these scripts is I built in the answer to the most common objections. Hey, what's the most common objection you're going to get? I'm not interested. I'm too busy. Something like that. This wouldn't be for me. That's like one world that you're going to get all the time. So this script already takes that away. They says, hey, I'm not interested in this stuff. I say, oh, fantastic. I didn't think you would be. Like I said, if you or somebody you knew in the future could use that, I'd love for you to know enough that you'd feel comfortable referring me. So I'm like a jujitsu master. You come at me with, oh, I'm too busy. I'm like, I know. I told you you were too busy, but you're going to know some people that need this. So I want to build in as many ways to my goal as I can without that prospect having any clue that I have built in all those trapdoors, right? So what you're going to see as we go through the most common objections that you're getting all the time, when your script is tight and concise and delivered in that manner, okay, it's hard for people to say no. It really is. It's very difficult for them to get out of that, right? And so we want to be a pro and we want to deliver that. So notice, I'm going to say it to you one more time, and I want you to notice the tonality of my voice. I want you to notice the rhythms, the speed and cadence, okay? Because here's the deal. Some of you are probably like, well, I've heard that script before. Okay, there's a big difference between hearing it and knowing it at the level that I know it. Okay, and that's the difference in the money we made in this business, is sitting in those things, right? Okay, so I'm calling Richard. Richard, hey brother, it's Ian from the cycling club. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Ian. Thank you. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm doing really good, brother. It's so good to talk to you. Hey, listen, the reason for my call, I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not the last time we were talking, but I actually have some finance licensing. And listen, dude, I just want to set a time to pop on a quick Zoom and just kind of show you guys what I'm doing. And if you or somebody you know in the future, Richard, could use what I do, I just love for you to know enough that you'd feel comfortable referring me. So listen, man, as far as getting together, 15, 20 minutes, I can do tomorrow, the next day, which is better for you? Okay, so pause right there. Right? How long did that take? Same amount of time. Notice low and slow. Notice where the pauses were. Notice when I slowed down, right? Because if I talk more quietly, you have to listen more intently. If I talk more slowly, you have to listen to what I'm saying more intently. So I'm using that rhythm and I'm using that tonality to control the flow of that conversation all the way to the end. And then I'm going to ask him a question and he's going to give me an answer. And that answer is going to be one of the 2 days, or he's going to object to me. That's the only thing that's going to happen, right? Okay, which is great because we only need to prepare for 2 things. We only need to prepare for 2 things. Guys, listen, once you get this, it's so simple. It's so easy. It makes the business so much fun, right? Until you get it. And while you're working on getting it, it feels like torture. You're not alone. I promise you're not alone. It feels like torture. This is the hard work that nobody wants to do. Here's the best part of what I'm teaching you. You're only going to need to do the work once, because once you get it, the processes you're going to have are going to work for you. You just have to put them in place one time. Okay. So you're not going to have to do this crap like this 10 years from now. You're going to have it all automated and all set up at that point. But it's hard work now while it's getting built. So listen, I need you guys to set. Nothing is more important than the sets. One last week at 3. I want every one of you over 20 on those docs next week. You're going to be busy. You're going to have a lot of business coming in. You're going to feel overwhelmed. And I love it. That's what I want you to feel like. I want you to feel like you're swimming in money and opportunities and you don't have time to live your normal life. That's exactly where we want to go. And so we're going to do volume first. And then once we get so much volume that we don't know how to keep it going, then we're going to hit that quality and that consistency of it. And that's where magic is, you all. That's where magic is. It's going to be fun. I hope you're ready. And I know many of you, I'm getting some messages from some of you already. You're already starting to see an uptick in results. It's exactly what you should be. But if your activity isn't increasing, you should not be expecting a jump in results until that activity increases substantially beyond where it was before. The good news is that can be today, right? You can choose to set a butt ton of appointments today and just go have some fun with it. Okay, so listen, if you need me or you need anything, shoot a message out into the Telegram. I am traveling internationally, but I do look at it and I'm here to help you. Take advantage of that. Don't go a week not knowing what on earth you're doing. Okay, reach out to me or Rick or to the group and people will help you. Okay, so don't be needy Stevie, okay, but also like get what you need. All right, hey, I love you guys. I'm proud of you. Let's go to work, baby. Talk to you.